Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and check 393 and 394 with you guys. Looks like we're a little bit ahead of my lesson plans and what I sent you guys out. So we're gonna check this today. This is for 5th grade. We're gonna check these pages today, and what I want you to do for today and tomorrow is just work with Think Central and IXL. And then maybe on Thursday or Friday, I'll hop on and we will start lesson 6.8. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and check pages 393 and 394. I told you guys not to estimate. You don't have to do that. So number 1 was done for you. Number 2, your answer is 2/3. Number 3, 5 1/8. Number 4, 37 over 42. Number 5, 1 8/9. Number 6, 5 7/12. Okay, let's look at our story problems. Let's look at number 7. Carlene bought 8 1/16 yards of ribbon to decorate a shirt. She only used 5 1/2 yards. How much ribbon does she have left over? We're going to compare. So 8 1/16 minus 5 1/2. Okay, first thing you should see is that your fractions do not have the common denominator. So we have to find that. And between 16 and 2, you know you're going to use 16. Okay, so we're going to find equivalent fractions for each one and convert it over to 16ths. Okay, so your top fraction is going to stay the same, 8 1/16, because all you're doing is multiplying by 1. Okay, and 2 times 8 gets me to 16, so 1 times 8 is 8. But when you get to this point, you see that you cannot take 8 from the 1. We have to borrow, okay? When you do, the 8 becomes a 7. Remember, add your denominator to your numerator. 16 plus 1 is 17 over 16. Remember, we renamed that fraction. We renamed that fraction because we took 1 from the whole, made it a 7. 16 plus 1 is 17 sixteenths. And 17 sixteenths is the same thing as 8 1/16. Okay? And our second fraction stays the same. So 5 8/16 pulls over. Our 16 stays the same. 17 minus 8 is 9. 5 from 7 is 2. So 2 9/16 yards. Did you guys get that? If not, I hope you see where you messed up. And if you have any questions, just message me and I'll help you with them. All right, let's look at number 8. During his first vet visit, Pedro's puppy weighed 6 1/8 pounds. On his second visit, he weighed 9 1/16 pound. How much weight did he gain between the visits? So we have to compare. And again, you have to put your larger amount on top. So 9 1/16 is larger than 6 1/8. So we need to subtract. Again, we're going to work with 16ths because 16 is going to be our common denominator out of 8 16. The 9 1/16 stays the same. 8 times 2 gets me to 16, and 1 times 2 is 2. When you get to this step, you see that you cannot take 2 from 1. That's too large, so you have to regroup. 9 becomes 8. 16 plus 1 is 17/16. Pull this one over, it stays the same and does not change. Okay, now we have 6 2/16 to take away from 8 17/16. Our denominator stays the same. Bring down your 16. 17 minus 2 is 15, and 6 from 8 is 2. So 2 15/16 pounds. He almost gained 3 pounds, didn't he? Because 15/16 almost makes a whole, doesn't it, guys? All right. We're gonna skip over number 9. I'll see if you did it when you send me your pictures of your completed assignments. All right, let's look at number 1 up on 394. Natalia picked 7 1/6 bushels of apples today and 4 5/8 yesterday. How many more did she pick today? So we have to compare 7 1/6 minus 4 5/8. All right, what's our common denominator going to be between 6 and 8? What's it going to be, guys? Between 6 and 8, we'll find your multiples. And the first two multiples, the smallest one they have in common is 24. Okay, 24. So, 24. So 6 times what gets me to 24? 6 times 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 8 times 3 gets me to 24. So 5 times 3, 15. When we get to this step, you cannot take 15 from 4. We have to regroup it. Borrow from the 7, make it a 6. Your 24 stays the same. 24 plus 4 becomes 28. Pull over your 4 and 15 24ths. Now our denominators are the same and we're ready to work. 6 minus 4 is 2 wholes. 24 stays the same. 8 minus 5 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. So 2 13 24ths bushels. And I know that this is in its simplest form because 13 is a, do you guys remember what that's called, 13? Starts with a P. 13 is a prime number. Okay, so it is in its simplest form. All right, number 2, Max needs 10 1/4 cups of flour to make a batch of pizza dough for his pizzeria. He only has 4 1/2 cups of flour. How much more does he need to make the dough? So 10 1/4 minus 4 1/2. 10 stays the same. Pull it over because I'm doing common denominators. So 10 1/4 stays the same because our denominator of 2 and 4 is going to be 4. 2 times 4 gets me to 4. So 1 times 2 is 2. All right. We have common denominators now. We've got equivalent fractions. You can't take 1 away from 2. 2 from 1. So we have to borrow. The 10 becomes a 9. 4 plus 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5 fourths. This comes over, the 4 and 2 fourths. And now I'm ready. My denominator stays the same, 4, and 5 minus 2 is 3. 9 minus 4 is 5. 5 and 3/4 cups. You guys, my nails are awful. Girls, we always liked to look at my nails. I don't have it anymore. I've only got 2 left. Can't wait to get to the salon to get my nails done. I miss you guys. I hope you miss me. I know you enjoy your bed and your home and stuff like that, but I really, really, really miss you guys. And it doesn't look like we're going to get to go back, but I want you to know that I miss you, and we're going to continue working until the end of the school year, okay? So we're not going to quit because I want you guys ready for middle school, okay? So we're not quitting. We'll go until May 22nd. All right, number 3, the account charged $35 for the first hour of work and $23 for each hour after that. He earned a total of $127. How many hours did he work? I'm sure there's a couple ways to do this, but I'm going to start with the $127. And I'm going to go ahead and take the first hour away from the $127 because he was paid more for the first hour. So I'm going to go ahead and take 35 from 127. 5 from 7 is 2. I can't take 3 from 2. I have to borrow. That becomes 12. This becomes 0. 12 minus 3 is 9. So I'm left with $92. And remember, this was the first hour. So we know he worked that for the first hour. Okay? Now I'm left with $92. And each hour after that, he was paid $23. So I'm going to take 92. And I'm going to divide that by the $23 for each hour and see how many hours I get. Okay? I know that 4 times 2 is 9. So I'm going to try 4. Okay? 4 times 3 is 12. Yep, it's going to work perfectly. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So he worked 4 hours and earned $23 for each of those hours. So 4 hours there. So this 4 hours plus the 1 hour that he worked at $35 is 4 plus 1 is 5 hours that he worked. Did you guys get it? And you could have done it a couple different ways probably, okay? But this is the way I chose to do it. As long as you get the answer, you know Miss Cundiff's good with that. Okay? All right, let's look at number 4. Number 4 says, the soccer team needs to transport all of its 133 players to the tournament. If 4 players can ride in one car, how many cars are needed? Well, we're going to take the 133 players. Goodness, that's a lot. And we're going to divide it by 4 because there can be 4 players per car. Okay? The 1 can't go into that 4, but 13 can. We're going to start right here. We're going to have a number above it.